It's really unhealthy to buy into an image that the media creates. If they kind of create an image to sell tabloids.
Hotel rooms are actually in shoots are a very, like he said,
Sensitive
what?
topic.
Yeah.
I'm not as out there in public with a lot of my things. I try and kind of hold on to my privacy as much as possible. Because I think that that's a great way to stay sane.
Harsh and I've said this in every interview now. We are new and we have no spotlight.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Quint.
Hey, thank you for having us.
First of all, I'd like to ask, how have you all been introduced to Satyajit Ray?
Yeah, for me it was Doordarshan and Gopika and Bagabayan. That was the first introduction to Ray. Then I think I saw Nayak, and then after that, I think Jai Baba Filmnath. So thanks to Doordarshan, but that Doordarshan was my first introduction to Ray.
I actually was shown the Apu trilogy in film school as a student, but to be honest, I haven't actually gone back and watched them recently. So it's been many, many years. But actually, Nayak is something that stylistically I thought was very cool with the sunglasses and the tight close-ups and this movie star. So that's something that really fascinated me. Again, kind of like Vasan, I'm a big fan of films about films and films about film personality.
I got introduced to Ray when I was very little. So my mother used to take me to watch those films. So there was a Karol Bagh Puja Samiti, and they used to hold public screenings for everybody out in the fields, like those Swades projectors. I never understood them then because it was just any Bengali film. I was like 5 years, 6 year old. But as I moved on in life and I read his films, I mean, when I became an actor, I started understanding films. When I saw Kanchenjunga or Apu Shankar, Aparajito, and all his films. Ray had a long-lasting impact on every movie buff.
Definitely. So, Vasan, I mean, among all Ray's short stories, why did you zero on Spotlight?
I mean, there was no question of me choosing it. They said, "Will you be a part?" And I was like, "Yes." Two, I was very sure that whatever was available, I am going to pick it up. And thankfully, it was Spotlight.
So you have spoken about people not talking about the humor in Satyajit Ray's short stories in an interview. This film of yours, this interpretation also has retained that humor. So was that one of the main driving factors which drew you to this anthology?
Well, actually, Satyajit Ray's all his films have had humor, right? I mean, he's always so seamlessly put in everyday people and situations in all his films. Yeah, even in fact retained that one dialogue from Nayak where that hustler he says, "I'm British," which rhymes with British.
Yes.
So he had a flair for it, yeah, and that was always there in all his works. So even like small moments like in Mahanagar, Jaya Bhaduri is peeping out of the bathroom. She has soap in her eyes, but she wants to know if the bindi is cooked right or no. Everything that he did, even Jai Baba Filmnath.
So in this film Spotlight, we see how a popular film star is displaced by a religious figure. She comes and then the spotlight and just grabs the spotlight. So do you think religion has somewhat become the new entertainment quotient in our lives?
I think always, like all the huge congregations, be it faith, be it spirituality, be it religion, whatever you call as, has been drawing crowds, and there is a frenzied following all throughout the world, all throughout history. So there is no doubt about that.
Yeah, there's no comparison. I think when it comes to drawing crowds, no one person can compete with that.
Coming to Akanksha, Harshvardhan and Chandan, like as we see in the film, as actors, how do you navigate the spotlight in your lives and also the threat that comes with it?
Harsh and I've said this in every interview now. We are new and we have no spotlight.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if there is a spotlight, at least from people we know in the industry who actually have it on them, are very much aware or let it affect your life. I think that's the way to navigate it, by not feeling its presence. Because that just comes in the way and jars whatever you're trying to do here. if you, and the pressures and the insecurities and everything that comes with feeling, oh, there is a spotlight on me, there's something I need to do or give or take. I think just not acknowledging in a very positive connotation, I mean this, and just going about what you set out to do, and that is act, do good cinema, try to just do good work. I think that's how at least I would.
I think to just kind of see it as what it is, and not kind of get to try, it's hard obviously, but try not to get too swayed by the results and the outcomes of things, and don't take yourself so seriously. Try and find other distractions, other things in life that you enjoy. For me, I love sports and I love fashion, and I love like just bonding with my friends and people and having experiences. And sometimes I think, living in Bombay for long periods of time can be a bit detrimental, in where it becomes all about your life as an actor in the business and etc. etc. But sometimes when you kind of go away and you look at it from a distance, you realize that it's important and it's my job, but it's one part of life, and there's a lot more to life than what people may perceive me to be in the movies. That's not really who I am.
Yeah, I feel it's best to have no spotlight on you. I mean, that's the best way. I never had spotlight, and that's how you work the best. It just, once you have your spotlights on, you tend to work under pressure, under dictations, under certain kind of measured sort of space, how to do it, how to not to do it, how to measure it and make it. You're working for the audience, when you stop working for yourself. But I think it's when you are not under spotlight, that's when I think the best work happens.
No, but then there's the conflict also, right? That the film shows, the actor dealing with probably a fear that if the spotlight goes away, and spotlight, it's very temporary. He kind of realizes that also. But then there is this added fear, this conflict, which he wrestles with. So as artists also, there must be this conflict that you have to fight with, right, on a daily basis.
So I also think Vic is the correct embodiment of what we are saying. Hopefully you should not be, just like not take yourself too seriously or not be in your head too much. And, because that does, like Chandan sir said, take away from what you've set out to do.
I think also it's just kind of about how it's really unhealthy to buy into an image that the media creates of you. You know what I mean? Like,
or that you feel to fit into.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, people say, and they say that they kind of create an image to sell tabloids that you're a certain way, etc. And then you start believing the hype. It happens with young athletes. It happens with young up and coming actors, big movie stars. You always have to kind of remind yourself why you started and why you're doing this, and not really get too involved in people's perception of you or an image that gets created.
So coming to you, Harshvardhan, again, I'll just draw it back to the attention. Like, you come from a film family where since childhood you have seen the attention, like the media and fans have given to your family, be it your sister Sonam, your father Anil Kapoor. So has it changed you as a person, or do you sometimes think you would have been a different person had you not had all this attention?
I don't really know how to answer that question, because I think I've really tried to kind of separate myself, not like from, but I mean, just in the sense, the path that I've chosen has kind of been a bit different. I'm not as out there in public with a lot of my things. I try and kind of hold on to my privacy as much as possible, because I think that that's a great way to stay sane. And I hope I can keep doing this a long time, because I really like my privacy, and I'm a pretty quiet person in that sense. So I'm not kind of what people expect, so I think it's going to kind of take a period of time for people to really understand me and what I'm like and how I am kind of my own person, and etc. So yeah, to answer the question now.
Now, there's a scene where there's a minor quibble between rooms. Like, Vikram, he has a room, and then Didi, she kind of wants the same room. So, I mean, it's a fun question, right? While shooting or it's for everyone. Have you come across such an incident wherein, like, there have been such quibbles or some kind of like this, fight over rooms or something?
Yeah, I mean, I think I thought being the director, I kind of went for the recce. So I thought I chose the best room for myself. Then I saw Chandan's room and I was like, oh, I could have chosen that room. Because I think Chandan had the best room and the best view.
Hotel rooms are actually in shoots are a very, like he said,
Sensitive
what?
topic.
Yeah, people are trying to follow each other's car. Who's getting to the hotel first? अरे उसकी गाड़ी पहले पहुंच गई यार, मैं पीछे रह गया, वो ले लेगा. मतलब it's a fun way. Like
Yeah.
it's not a लड़ाई, but it's like, this is how you happens. And then there's a lot of politics around room. Like when you're starting out, you're really new and fresh, and then the producers put you at one of the worst hotels with no ventilation, and you're an AD or you're something. You're like non-existent for the bigger people. So then you're like, then once you come from a certain hotel, then वहां पे एक अपना ग्रुप बन जाता है कि हम सब एक हैं, हमारी एकता बनी रहे. फिर एक होता है HODs का होटल जो थोड़ा अलग होता है, उनकी भी अलग एकता होती है. फिर बड़े स्टार का होटल होता है. तो ये एक अलग मजेदार एक दूसरी दुनिया है, एक अलग ही पॉलिटिक्स देखने को मिलता है. बट एज यू ग्रो वाइजर, एज यू स्टार्ट क्लाइंबिंग अप, you realize that how funny these things are and how sometimes these things actually bothered you, becomes a part of your ego and clashes and और मेरे को ये रूम मिला नहीं, ऐसे थोड़ी ना होता है, उसको देखो दो
Vanity van also.
हाँ,
Vanity van also.
वैनिटी वैन. हाँ, मेरे वैनिटी वैन तीन दरवाजे हैं, उसके दो एक.
Important being how far the vanity van is from the shooting spot.
वो एक और पॉलिटिक्स.
हाँ.
So why do you think Satyajit Ray is relevant even today?
I mean, his filmmaking, his outlook, his perspective, his relationships, the way he's shown relationships, I think they will always be, because it is about the working class people, and their struggles, trials, and tribulations will always remain true in any era. Even if robots take over, I think it will still be the same. So it will always be relevant. I think even after 100 years, it will still be relevant.
He has some fascinating women characters also, very complex yet like so relatable women characters.
Yeah, at a time where people were just writing unidimensional characters, I mean, they were all living, breathing, having their own conflicts, having their own ambitions, which were beyond just supporting the other character. If I give you an example, even in Aranya Din Ratri, I think all these guys, they barge into the guest house and they ask the caretaker ki chai banao, and the caretaker actually hesitates. The scene should have just ended. The caretaker is like a normal character, like like a junior artist, but he actually hesitates and he's like, why should I even serve these guys? They don't own this place, I don't owe anything. But then because of the way the class hierarchy is, he eventually submits, but there is like this really feeble protest that he does at least express. And therein lies, when multiple times you view Ray, you'll get all these, like even that small cast is not a unidimensional Ramu Kaka. He has his own life. So which is amazing, I think, which is something to really learn from and marvel at. And rightfully he is, he's Satyajit Ray. So.
Question for you is that since this film is releasing on Netflix, were you apprehensive of an OTT release so soon in your career?
No, absolutely not. I did a small role in a film called AK versus AK before this. Now I have done this with Vasan, and I also have a film coming out called Thar, which is again a Netflix original. And to be honest, I wouldn't have even really been concerned if my first two films went to digital. Because I'm more focused on the kind of work that I want to do, and I'm more kind of conscious of that work finding the right platform, so it can speak to the correct audience. So I don't really have this vanity of my film has to release in the cinema, anything of that sort. I think that's completely dictated by the kind of material that it is. I love the fact that when Ray comes out on the 25th of June, it'll be in hundreds of countries with multiple languages, subtitles, all of that. And I think that the world is much, much bigger than just Indian theatrical. Indian theatrical is fantastic and it's great and it's what we've all grown up on. But I think that, we're in a different time at the moment, and I'm very, very excited for people all over the world to see this and, hopefully one day work in other countries myself.
Thank you so much. Thank you for speaking to the Quint.
Thank you for having me.
We are truthful, unafraid, and independent because of you. Now you can help our reporting from the ground. Go to thequint.com, click Become a Member tab, choose a plan and pay. Because the truth is worth it.